first thing in here, some guys will say it's the greatest league in the world, and it's also the hardest league in the world to play. And a couple of days removed, what are you taking away from this season?
Obviously very disappointed. We, especially off the year we had last year, we had high expectations for ourselves and as an organization. So obviously not to be able to make it's tough, but we're going to keep growing, keep moving forward.
You mentioned after the Sunday game that it kind of felt like tryouts for these guys. How do you think that this last weekend and how that sets the table and course for what is going to be a big year this next year begin out of the gate?
Yeah, we're going to have to restart and reset. Everybody's going to have to come with a different mindset that we're going to be the underdogs again next year, and I think we're better off for it.
What do you think are some of the whys as to why this season went the way it did?
I don't know. It's easy to point fingers and say we could have done things differently, and whether it be areas on the ice and personnel stuff like that. But at the end of the day, each guy has to look at themselves and give a little bit extra, I think.
What are some of those things for you personally? I mean, what are you going to be working on this offseason to try to get better?
Just continue. Every single year I do the same thing. I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing. I feel like I could be a little bit better defensively. Whether that be, obviously that's systems-wise and kind of watching video and just learning from stuff like that. So I think I can do better that way.
How's your health right now? I mean, obviously you're a little banged up towards the end of the season. Are you going into the off-season feeling healthy? Yeah, I feel pretty good right now. Obviously I'm gonna go over to Worlds and try to help Canada win a gold medal. And that's what my sights are set on right now.
What did you take away from the last few weeks, getting some time at center, and how that kind of played for you?
Playing center's hard. Yeah, it's in the NHL, it's very difficult, and the systems that we play, especially here, they ask a lot of the centerman, and it's something that I can do. I've done it before in the past, so whatever happens next year, if I'm at center or wing, obviously I think I'm gonna find out here in the next little bit what the plan is, and maybe be prepared.
Maybe jumping off that a little bit, knowing how the center position is here and what it has to do, what do you think of Matty's year and kind of how he worked his way through it without the offensive numbers being quite what they were a year ago, and how he kind of is progressing at this point?
Yeah, they asked a lot of him. Obviously, he's still a very young kid, but he's mature. He's matured a lot this year, and defensively he was great for us. He really was, and like I said, they asked a lot of him, and he answered.
I think it's fair to set a bar right now to say playoffs, or just be in the fight next year for playoffs, or is that more of a conversation in training camp?
Yeah, it's more of a training camp conversation. Obviously that's the point of this is to go for a Stanley Cup, to make it to the playoffs is huge, and it's very tough, obviously, but that's where I want to be.
I asked the other guys this too, but like a lot of times this year, you guys were saying like we didn't have full 60-minute effort tonight. We didn't come out of the gate started the way we wanted to. Why do you think that was such a common refrain for you guys this season?
I don't know. That's I think that's individually. I think guys, can be better prepared for games sometimes, whether warm up a little bit differently maybe. Yeah.
Jared, sometimes guys go to Worlds with a goal, or maybe just to cleanse the mind off a season. Do you have any of those objectives for Team Canada?
No, just want to win a gold. Obviously, I got to go a couple of years ago and won a silver medal. Obviously, lost in the final. It was pretty tough, but I'm very excited to represent my country.
How does that invite happen? Does Nasher call you, or how do you get invited?
Yeah. Nasher. When you saw Rick Nash's name kind of pop up on your phone, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Good. Great.
Thanks,
Yeah, no worries, guys. Appreciate it. Hey, it's a pleasure. Pleasure. As always.
Thanks as always.
Hey, good to see you.
First handshake of the day.
I'll just first begin with, for this season, what kind of words best apply with what you enjoyed, with what you endured here for this year?
Just like the overall year. As a group, I think we were inconsistent. We went in stretches where we played really, really good hockey, and stretches where we kind of fell off that felt like we were kind of chasing it a lot, trying to stay in the hunt, and we were right there. Just a tough year.
I think it was more like a physical thing or a mental thing that this team learned to get through times like that?
Maybe a bit of both. Obviously we had a great year last year. things didn't go quite as smooth this year. But again, we were right there. Just couldn't put it together at the very end and stay in that chase.
When you think about how things have gone for you personally over the last couple of years, you happy with your performance and how you fit with this team?
It was a tougher year this year. Same thing, a little inconsistent. Felt stretches I felt really good, and stretches where I was kind of fighting it. But it's a good group here. It was just tough to kind of get out of it as early as we did, and not. It's been a while since I haven't been in the playoffs, so it's a weird feeling and something that's not very fun.
Have you thought about what you want to do personally moving forward here in terms of your own future?
It's not yet. It's still pretty early. Obviously, I love it here, and there's still a lot to be played out. We'll see what happens over the summer.
What do you think about the highs of the last season coming into now? What do you think has to happen collectively as a group to get back to the way that you guys were?
What has to happen?
Yeah.
Well, number one, like I said, consistency. Coming every night prepared. I thought we got off to a bad start this year, and from there we were kind of chasing it. But you saw when we did play well, we were one of the toughest teams to play. So I think just getting back to being a connected group and playing like we know how to.
You had that period of 9 wins in a row around Christmas into the Winter Classic in January. Is there a win that you think of back that reminds you of what this team is capable of night after night?
I can't think of a specific game, but I mean, that stretch was just, we had confidence. I don't know if it was because we were going into the Winter Classic that we wanted to kind of be on point, and I think the Winter Classic kind of topped it off. It was a great event and great win for us and the city and the organization. So, like I said, it's just we showed that we can do it, and it was just stretches where for some reason we just fell off and couldn't find a way to get it done, and it wasn't because of a lack of effort or anything. It was just the way it goes sometimes. It's a tough league.
Good. Cool. Thanks, Schultz.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
I feel bad now.
Let's get her to show. Chicken sandwich?
No, I'm kidding.
Can't beat Jimmy's. Can't beat Jimmy's.
Okay.
Well, first things first, how far you're moved here from this season to kind of appropriately process the meaning of it, and what lies ahead for you and this group here for this summer and for next season as well?
No, it's disappointing. I think coming into this season, obviously expectations were getting right back in playoffs and competing now. So, yeah, it's not a good feeling. So, I think we just gotta be hungry this summer and come in next year and just be ready to go. Obviously, we need a much better start to the season.
When your line mate for a long, long time, Gordo, said he's going to go back and watch the playoffs again and try to take what he's seen and apply it here for next year. Where do you kind of fall on that scale of how much hockey that you want to watch when you're not playing?
You say he's going to watch our games? Or any of the games?
Playoff games,
yeah, I usually watch some of the games, and I think it motivates you. You see how fun it is for the guys to be out there competing, and how hard or how much it takes to win those games. So, yeah, I usually watch a few of them. Not watching every night, but I watch some of them, and it just gives you motivation. You want to be there.
How far away do you think you guys are from the team you were last year and the team you want to be at the stages you hit this offseason?
No, I think we took a step back. I think if you looked at our lineup, we had a team, that at least us as a group, we expected to make playoffs, and we felt like we should have been able to. So I don't think we're far off, but I think for us it's just all up here. Being more consistent throughout the season.
Oliver, obviously teams go through peaks and valleys, but was there a point for you during the season where the offensive struggles went from typical to maybe being more worrisome? I'm wondering why it was happening.
I don't know if I could pinpoint a time, but I think it was too much up and down. I think we had some losing streaks that obviously killed us. But no, I think it's just, as a group, we just had to be more connected. And I mean, of course, there's probably games where you can get a little bit unlucky, but as a whole, obviously, we had to be more in front of the net. We had to be more aggressive, compete a little bit harder, winning battles and all that stuff. So, no, we got to look at it and just realize we got to be better.
You guys got off to the slow start. You had the 8-game losing streak, I want to say, in November. Was it hard to feel like you were chasing it like all year long, that you were trying to dig yourselves out of a hole?
Yeah. I mean, losing that amount of games in a row definitely kills you in the standings, and it's a momentum killer. So, yeah, we struggle with that this year, and we got to find a way to avoid that.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks.
Lunch break.
Have a good summer.